Hey boys, welcome back to some more NRL Supercoach Season 2020, and in this video, we're going to be having a look at the 5'8". So last video, obviously we looked at the halfbacks, so there's going to be a few double ups here, but honestly the 5'8" are very up in the air for me. So starting out here, Cameron Munster at 644k. I mean, he just does well every year, and it seems weird to say, but I'm not going to be going Cameron Munster. You know, he just does well, you know. So, the last couple of years, he started expensive, he stayed expensive, and if you started him at the start of the year, you would have done well, but I just can't, I don't really know why, but I just can't go Cameron Munster. I always feel like the Storm are just due for a rougher year. It just never happens. But yeah, personally for me, I just think there's better options than Cameron Munster. The second guy on the list here, I've gone with Cody Walker. I'm not going to say he's a must-have, but I just feel like he is almost a must-have. He's just a good player, you know. And the main reason why I sort of tipped over the edge and I've gone with Walker at the moment, and I'm sort of almost guaranteed for him, is because of Latrell Mitchell. Now, I don't think Mitchell is necessarily going to absolutely set the house on fire at fullback. I think he might struggle at fullback, but the big thing here is Cody Walker last year was just so dominant on the left-hand side, and that was with not an incredible fullback. For a lot of the year, he had Adam Dewey here, who is solid, you know, a solid player, but not really an X factor out the back to worry about. He's decent, but he's not a Mitchell. And then also for other parts, he had Alex Johnston, who obviously posed a bit more of a threat, but Johnston was injured for a good chunk. So, you know, last year, Cody Walker was doing that with sort of a makeshift fullback for a lot of it. You know, not the ideal guy coming around the back. This year, I mean, you look at the back line, dude. I think the Rabbitohs might struggle in the forward pack, but you just look at the back line. I mean, Mitchell, Roberts, Braden Burns, and who were their wingers? I'm losing my mind, but I'm just like, go out the back, and I feel like there's a lot of points on offer, and Cody Walker is just the number one guy in that. I'm gonna change my mind again here, because I'm sort of starting to talk myself out. Because I just remembered that Johnny Sutton is not going to be at the club this year. He's retired, and that is a huge impact on Cody Walker. And now I'm starting to second guess Cody Walker because let's be real. I mean, John Sutton provided such a good foil on that left-hand edge. Like he's played plenty of 5'8" in his day, back in the day. He had a good kicking game, a good passing game, a good running game. So he was able to draw in defenders as that forward player. What they're going to have this year is probably going to be Jaden Sewer. I don't know who's going to be the other back rower. But Sewer, I think, might be on that side. And Sewer is not a ball player. He's a guy that's going to hit the line hard, and that's basically it. If you look at most of the plays the Rabbitohs ran to that side, it was off the back of John Sutton. I mean, it was Walker who did the magic, but it was Sutton with the nice little wraparound pass, getting to the outside. He did plenty of playmaking. John Sutton. So now I'm worried. Now I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go with Cody Walker, dude. I'm worried about no Sutton. Yeah, that's thrown a spanner in the works. I actually, coming into this video, I'm like, Cody Walker, I think he's a must-have. And now I just remembered there's no John Sutton on that left-hand edge, so I'm second guessing it. Obviously, the other guy here is Sean Johnson. We talked about him before. Luke Keary, I think, is he's a guy that stood out for me. I'm very tempted to go him. He's an attacking weapon, you know. Obviously, there's the issue of concussion, but I mean, you don't pick your team based on potential concussion or potential injury. If someone's coming back from a serious injury, you know, you can factor in that, but you don't pick your team thinking, oh, he got concussed a few times, like, I might not pick him because of that. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's a bit of a silly sort of thing to think about. You know, it's just a bit silly. If you think he's not going to score that well, you know, that's a valid reason, but I think Keary, with no Cooper Cronk, obviously it's going to be a lot of attack on him. Again, though, it doesn't worry me, but there's obviously the big factor of not having Latrell Mitchell. But I guess the benefit of a Luke Keary not having Mitchell is that he still has Tedesco, and a lot of the times it would have been Keary onto Tedesco and then Tedesco onto Mitchell. But most times it was Keary to Tedesco and Tedesco ran it. Tedesco doesn't pass too much, so it didn't. I don't think it affects Keary quite as much. It definitely takes away a big X factor on that side, but I think Keary still has a lot of upside in him. So he's a guy I'm keen on. He could definitely be a decent pod. Connor Watson, unfortunately, with the signing of Brayley, Connor Watson is not going to be playing dummy half. If the Knights didn't sign Brayley and Connor Watson was starting at dummy half, I would 100% pick Connor Watson, because he was incredible out of dummy half last year. Just scored incredibly well. But the Knights have basically screwed Connor Watson there. So I don't know where he's going to play. I'm assuming he's going to play like number 14 and come on as a utility player. So basically cross out Connor Watson. Jack Wadden, decent player, but I probably wouldn't go with Jack Wadden. He's just not consistent enough with decent scores. He does really rely on scoring tries himself. He's not too big a ball player. He can score a try, but yeah, I wouldn't be going Wadden. He does have good base stats though. He tackles extremely. He's the best tackling half in the game, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt. He puts on huge hits for a half. Massive. But yeah, wouldn't be going him. Corey Norman, no. Anthony Milford, no. I wouldn't be able to go with Milford. You know, I'm a Broncos supporter, and sometimes I can't stand watching the Broncos at the best of times, so I just can't go Milford. There's no way I could have Milford in my team and then also be worried about the Broncos losing. It's just a double whammy I just couldn't cope with. Cade Cust, obviously excellent last year, but I don't think he's probably not going to be. I don't know where he's going to be playing this year, Cust. But he's a very good player regardless. Michael Morgan, talked about him a bit in the halfback role. He's a risk, but I wouldn't be going there in my opinion. Then we go down. Marshall, no. Tyron Roberts, no. Kyle Flanagan, we discussed. Mason Lino, decent option, but again, I wouldn't be going there. Matthew Moylan at fullback. Oh, he promises so much, Matthew Moylan. Last year, dude, I was a whisker. I was a whisker away from picking Moylan in my I think in the fullback spot. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was out of Gutherson or Moylan. I was dead set on either of those. Thankfully, I picked Clint Gutherson, and that worked out incredibly well. Gutherson absolutely killed it at the start of the year for me. That was probably one of my best decisions last year. Gutherson made me so much money. He got so many points for me early on at fullback. I obviously also had Tedesco as well, but yeah, that was a massive pickup. And Moylan got in. He actually scored. He scored pretty well in the first round, and I was like, "Oh, did I make the wrong choice?" And then I think second round he did his hammy or something like that. And then for the rest of the season he was injured and fit. But I mean, if Moylan could stay fit, dude, I would love to pick him up because he's got so much upside, but I can't see him not going injured. He's so injury prone, so I can't go there. And then we go down. Not too much to really talk about here until we get to Drinkwater. Drinkwater's probably going to be playing 5'8" and Valentine Holmes at fullback, so I wouldn't be going Drinkwater at 5'8". If he was playing fullback, I think he'd be a decent choice, but at 5'8", I wouldn't be going there. AJ Brimson, he surely is going to get that fullback spot, and at the moment I've got him as my backup 5'8", and I'm very, very keen on AJ Brimson. Like I said, it's actually getting really tough because we'll go down here. There's Brimson, there's George Williams, who obviously comes with a lot of pedigree. I am worried because pretty much every English back has been a flop, and can Williams play well? I don't know. He's coming into a very good Raiders team with a lot of his English teammates, so I think that'll make it easier. I am worried, but Williams, Brimson, Ash Taylor, and Jake Turpin, those four guys, I'm very up in the air. I don't know who to go with. I think Turpin might be number one. I think Brimson might be number two. And then you go with two. It's so tough because you want to have two, like your half and your 5'8". You want two dead set guns, probably. But then there's so many choices. Dude. Brimson, Williams, Turpin, Taylor. They're all underpriced, in my opinion. And then you've got Moses, Johnson, Keary. Who else do we have up the top here? Cody Walker, Munster. There's a lot of, it's tough because I can't fit all the underpriced guys in my team. I could if I didn't want to go with any of the guns, but that would be a very risky play. It would set me up with a huge amount of money to spend elsewhere. But I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Imagine having I could do it. I could go Brimson, Williams, Taylor, and Turpin. They could be my four halves. Doesn't sound too bad. It doesn't sound that bad, honestly. I don't think I could do it, but boy, oh boy, I think all of them are underpriced. So, yeah. Oh, and then we've got, I forgot all about it. There's Jerome Luai as well. He's in my team at the moment. So, yeah, this is a tough one. The halves are absolutely killing me. And honestly, Phoenix Crosland being injured and probably not getting picked, I think has made it better for me, because if he was here, it would put like another player who I'd have to pick. So yeah, it's tough. It's very, very tough. So here's a guy, Tex Hoy. He was a bit of a gun from the Nines. I don't really see him getting a spot in the Knights side, but he's a guy obviously to keep an eye on for a potential cheapie. But yeah, I've got some decisions to make in the halves, and I honestly don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna go with. I really don't know. It's tough. This year feels really tough to me. I don't know why it is, but picking my team last year, I felt like I locked it in pretty quickly. There were a couple of guys up in the air. There were here or there, but this year there just feels like so many more options and suspect plays, which I like. I like. The teams are going to be a lot different. So, like in previous videos, let me know what you guys think. Any dark horses you think from the list that you're going with. Any guys that you think are a trap. Let me know. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.